Today we will be ranking all the Predator movies. All 5 of them. I have not included Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator 2. I have not included them in this list. This will be the 5 Predator movies that we have got so far, including the new one, Prey. I'm going to rank them from the worst to the best. This is my opinion, but I'm interested to know your opinion. So let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the Predator movies? Where do you rank them? Smash it down below, smash that like button, click subscribe, and let's get into this ranking of the Predator franchise right now. The Predator is number 5. This movie, to me, I was so hyped for. So freaking hyped. I was like, finally, we're getting another Predator movie. I'm a huge fan of the Predator franchise. I love them. But this one just went so far left that I kind of just walked out. I was like, WTF was that crap? And when you rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it, you just feel how painful it is that this movie didn't work. Like, you got Shane Black for this one. I was so excited for that. That was like the dream. Yes, this guy understands Predator. He knows Predator. And we get that chalked out crap. The whole Iron Man gimmick at the end with the suit was just like, what the WTF is that about? That doesn't make sense. The whole kid being able to work things out doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. We have these unlikable characters that we do not care about. I'm rooting for them to actually die. We have this gigantic Predator who's injecting himself with stuff to make himself bigger and better, which, okay, that's a bit extreme, but that's not what the Predator was about. The Predator was about improving his technology, not himself. They don't want to genetically enhance themselves. They're there to make their armor better, make their weapons better. But that it completely abandons that whole message. The whole final sequence is just bleh. It just doesn't work at all. It's a jumble, complete mess. The violence is decent, but again, it's just kind of pointless. There's no real end product to it. One of the kills, I mean, like, this is where I laughed my ass off in this movie the most, and I just realized that it was absolute trosh, was the guy that had the Predator thing on his shoulder, the plasma cannon on his shoulder, and when he turns and shoots himself in the face. Like, that to me was just like, okay, I know where we are now. But yeah, it's just unlikable characters, terrible story, very unlike Predator at all, goes against what the Predator is, and yeah, for me, the Predator comes in at number 5. Predator 2 is in at number 4 for me. I like Predator 2. I do. I think the only one that I really dislike is the one that we just talked about. But Predator 2, I like this one. We have Glover coming in, Danny Glover. He comes in and plays a cop. I like the idea that they tried something new with Predator 2 from the original Predator. Instead of having it in the jungle, they had it in the urban environment, in the city. And that to me was something fresh and something different. And I like that idea. Was it executed to perfection? No. There is still things that kind of didn't work for me. Certain characters that I didn't really like and didn't enjoy on screen and kind of wanted them to go. We got to see the Predator do some gross stuff like rip skulls and stuff out. We got to see that stuff. That was cool. The kills were decent. I think you could have done better with the kills. But then again, this was made way back. So you kind of got to give it a little bit of a pass on that one because there's only so much they can do with practical stuff. But that to me was decent. I think the story was okay. The ending was a bit strange, but also sort of works with the Predators. They are very much like a proud hunting race. And when things happen and they get bested, they kind of do respect the person that did do that. But overall, I don't think it's anywhere as good as the next 3, but it's a decent enough film. It's a decent sequel, and it's one that I can rewatch. I still don't think it's anywhere near the top of them, like the other 3 are, but it's a decent Predator sequel. So for me, number 4 is Predator 2. Predators is number 3. Look, this movie for me is just jam-packed action fun. This is another new take on the Predator movies that I actually probably like most mostly more than other people do. I think the idea of having them come and take the humans and drop them off on a gaming reserve where they hunt with other creatures is a really, really cool concept. And I really wanted them to continue this sort of storyline with these characters and moving forward with how they're going to get off this game reserve. Where the frick are they anyway? It kind of just ends on a cliffhanger and you're sitting there like, do they ever make it off? What happens next? I really want to know that story. I think you had some likable characters and some other characters that you didn't like, but I think that was on purpose as well. The middle bit with the whole stuff going on with a certain character that is been there for like, what is it, like eight seasons or something like that. That was a bit of a jumble mess. That didn't work for me, but the action, the kills, the fights, the interactions with the other characters actually worked for me quite well, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I love the score as well. I think the score was absolutely fantastic. That final battle was cool. So I don't have any real problems with it. Is it the greatest story? No. But it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie, and that's why I've got it so high. So for me, number 3 is Predators. Prey comes in at number 2, the newest edition. I really like this movie. I think this is the saving grace of the Predator franchise. After the Predator movie, this came out, and it didn't come out in the big screen. It came out on streaming, and I kind of sitting there like, please do not be another The Predator, because if it is, it's going to kill this franchise. It really will kill it, and it'll become like The Matrix. It'll be literally dead, and you'll have to wait like decades for them to try and bring it back and resurrect it. But no, Prey succeeds where The Predator failed. And you could say The Predators failed as well. I feel like this is going to be the saving grace. It's going to reinvent the whole Predator franchise. We go back in time. We see a Predator that is not as technologically advanced as the ones we are used to. We get to see them with new gadgets, cool gadgets. It's awesome. It really, really is. The action sequences are great. The main character was great. You follow her. She was fun. The final battle was awesome. I love that. The kills were gruesome, brutal, sick as. The whole ash sequence in the forest with like the blue and everything like that was just one of the most badass scenes I've ever seen in my life in a Predator movie. It worked so well. It absolutely worked, this movie. It is a very, very good prequel, not a sequel, a prequel, and I love this movie. I really, really do, and I'm gonna watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it. I think this works so well. I am very, very happy with this movie. I like the fresh take. I really like this fresh take, and what I really like about this movie, probably the most, is it kept the core message that the original Predator movie gave us. That you don't need to be the biggest or the strongest, but you just use your brain and you try and outsmart with strategic maneuvers. That, to me, is perfect. That is the Predator franchise in a nutshell. Strategic brains beats brawns every time. Going toe-to-toe with the Predator doesn't work. But the original got that, and Prey, to me, is the only one out of all of them that really captured that and put that message on the forefront. So for me, number 2 is Prey. Predator is number 1, the original, the classic. It's an absolute classic. It really is. The problem with all the other ones that they're never going to have the same allure, like the same aura as the first Predator. What made the first Predator so good is, 1, we didn't even know what the Predator looked like. 2, that whole suspense of what is this creature? The whole lurking in the back, killing people one by one, taking them one by one, these macho men, just absolutely running through them, was awesome. And it kept you on the edge of your seat. You're sitting there like, dude, what the fuck is this thing? This thing is killing the best of the best. And they're not even touching this thing. What is it? And that is something unique, because once you see it, then doing sequels and that, you just lose that aura about that creature, because we know what it is. We know what it's like. But it's so good. It's action-packed. It's an 80s action-packed classic. I love the final fight as well. The same thing. They get that message that you don't need to be the biggest and strongest. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger is not bigger, stronger, or better than the Predator in a physical combat, but he uses his head and his strategic mind to win. And that's what it's all about. The score is classic. That soundtrack, oh, so good. It's Carl Weathers, brilliant. The characters are great. You fall in love with them straight away. It's a fun action movie. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's a classic. So number 1, Predator. So there you have it. That is my list of the Predator franchise. Let me know in the comments below, where do you guys rank the Predator movies? Smash it down below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.